The rest is history. There you go.
Yes, the rest is history.
I always ask my guests when they come on the show about like their earliest memories watching movies or going to the cinema. Again, I don't want to make you feel too old. Do you have any memories of going to the cinema? If you can remember the first time you went to the cinema or the first time you saw movies?
I do. We used to go to the cinema quite a lot. All the cinemas that I went to as a kid, they're all gone now. The first film I saw as a kid was a film starring Yul Brynner and Lawrence Harvey called Taras Bulba, which I saw in the La Scala, which is now Waterson's bookshop.
All right.
Yeah. When I was a kid, though, I grew up in St George's Cross, and our local cinema was the ABC in St George's Road on the way to Charing Cross. Mm-hmm. And I was never out the place. And certainly when I was early teens, I was mad keen going there myself, because it was one of the few places that even if you looked about 12, 13, 14, they'd still let you into an 18, an X certificate, you know. So I saw loads of films in there. But, you know, we used to go to the Odeon. I remember going to the Odeon when it was one big cinema, which is a place where the Beatles played there in the early 60s.
Wow.
They cut that into 3 cinemas. That's in Renfield Street. There was the Regent just up the road from that. The La Scala that I talked about in Sucky Hall Street, across the road from that was the Gaumont. And the likes of Sound of Music ran there for about 3 years. There's loads of cinemas. So I've got loads of memories of visiting all these places. Yeah.
Do you have a favourite film that was like your first favourite film that you remember going, you watched over and over again and you maybe had it on video and things like that?
Yeah, well, right. I've got loads of favourite films. I think that the first one that would come in at that category was Where Eagles Dare.
Right.
Which I saw, I think, over on the south side in what was the Coliseum Cinerama. I may have seen that ABC in Sucky Hall Street. But Where Eagles Dare is like that. So when Where Eagles Dare comes on the TV, I feel duty bound to watch it. Along with Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid as well.
Classic.
I think I'll just watch it until such and such. You know?
Yeah.
You get hooked.
Aye. Yeah. Those are the best films as well, when it doesn't matter what stage of the film it's at. You know what I mean? If it's just on ITV2 or whatever, you know what I mean? You can just start watching that. That's Jaws for me. I end up watching Jaws all the time.
Yeah, fantastic film. Yeah, that'd be one of my films like that. I'd quite happily watch that. Yeah.
Aye. Do you like the Jaws sequels?
No.
No.
I hate them. Along with Roy Scheider. No, I don't like them.
You hate Roy Scheider?
Roy Scheider hated the second one, seemingly.
Oh, I see what you mean. Right, okay.
Contracted. Part of the contract with the original one was that he would have to take part in a sequel.
Right. He didn't want to do it.
But he didn't want to do it. But no, I loved the first one, the original one. I really did. Yeah.
Aye. I saw Jaws in the cinema recently. Actually, last year, I think it was, or maybe the year before, it was the hottest day in Glasgow. It was like, I don't know, up to 29 degrees or something, right? We have not had a day like this in years. And they were showing Jaws in Cineworld on Renfrew Street. And me and my dad always watched Jaws together and stuff when I was like growing up and stuff, and it became one of my favourite films. So we said, we're going to go and see it. So again, it was the warmest day of the year. And instead of sitting out and relaxing, we went and saw Jaws. But then last year, they also showed it at the View Cinema. I don't know if it's just because like cinemas were reopening and they wanted to show classic films to get people back in the door or whatever. And my girlfriend had never seen Jaws before. And I was like, well, that's a big moment. I'm going to take you to go see Jaws and then we'll judge, your film taste based on this. And luckily she liked it, but that could have been a disaster.
Like the GFT show it now and again. And at some point over the last 2 years, I can't remember, in between lockdowns or whatever, I took my son to see it.
Wow.
And there's a lot of young kids there, and I loved it because the bit where the head comes through the bottom of the boat.
Every time.
You want to see them jump. I mean, it was brilliant. So, no, that's one of my favourites, yeah.
Every time that bit, and then when before he says we're going to the bigger boat and the shark first appears and the three guys here, that's also the moment that always made me jump when I was wee as well. I don't mind the sequels, but I had somebody on recently who loves the sequels, and I was like, finally someone that I can talk to about the sequels. They don't have a thing on the first one, obviously, but I think they're good fun, especially no the fourth one, but 2 and 3.
Not a fan.
Not a fan. Anyway, what's the last time you went to the cinema? Have you seen any recent films at the pictures?
The last thing I saw at the cinema was the opening night of the film festival in Glasgow at the GFT. It was a film with Mark Rylance called The Outfit.
Oh, I didn't see it.
So it was. I quite enjoyed it. I think it's split opinion, but I liked it. It was he was very, very good in it. It was set in the, although he was English in it, it was set in the States, and some of the actors were English, and the accents were kind of wandering all over the kind of North America. But that aside, it was. I thought it was an accomplished piece of work. It's very much like Reservoir Dogs in that it's set in one location.
Okay, good.
It's the kind of thing that will probably crop up in a few years as a play, because you could perform it as a play. But I enjoyed it. That was the last thing I saw.
I like films like that are set in the one location. That's part of the reason why I like Jaws so much, although it's not in the one location, but a lot of like the whole second act takes place on the boat, and that's what really kind of draws you in, I think. Yeah. He's in another film recently, Phantom of the Open. It just came out, and I missed it. My mates went to see it, but I never saw it. But I know he's in it.
Yeah, so I know I didn't fancy it. So.
Oh, really? Okay. I'll check that one out though. What was it called? The Outfitters?
The Outfit.
Outfit, right? Okay,
the
cool.
Outfit.